Greetings from Mars, and welcome to the video, everyone. I know I've been releasing the podcast recently, but it's been a while since I've uploaded a real video, so I'm happy to be back. A few days ago, Mookie introduced the rest of us over on the Mars colony to a Roblox game called Rogue Nightmare, and to be honest, I was skeptical at first, but now I can confidently say this is the best Roblox game ever made, and better than a lot of the real games I've played. This is everything you need to know about Rogue Nightmare. Because I lagged.
Oh, me! Bro, why is why is this many ghosts chasing you? It's the KKK!
No, finally, fucking musket. That I'm not gonna use because I only get muskets so I need a cannon.
Bro,
Yeah.
can you guys see this?
Yeah, I was just saying, you out. Okay, guys, we can't leave. We gotta put out its misery. Okay, finally.
Covering the basics first, Rogue Nightmare is a top-down roguelike dungeon crawler. It's much like Gauntlet for the few people on the internet who still remember that. The game starts with everyone choosing a class and a couple of stat points. We'll get into the class specifics later. After that, the game begins on the first encounter, and there's really nothing special about the first few, just some enemies that are pretty easy to kill. You'll notice quickly that the big attacks are marked with these danger circles on the floor, which makes them really easy to dodge or parry if your class has one. Again, we'll get into it later. Depending on what mode you play, you'll get your first boss somewhere from the 4th to 7th encounter on the first floor, and they can be pretty annoying sometimes, but overall it's pretty easy. After that, you get to a shop where you can buy some stat points, weapon upgrades, abilities, trinkets, or reforges, and upon leaving the shop, you'll enter the next floor until you defeat the boss, you get another shop, and the cycle continues until the 5th floor. Upon defeating the boss on your 5th floor, you will continue to 5-5 and be faced with Nightmare of Vainglory, the final boss.
Mars.
Wait.
Yo,
Why did you
Mars.
die?
No. Mars just had like what's the opposite of a skill? Like the full opposite.
Being better?
Yeah, I was just better.
That's it. Yeah. Mars is just better right now.
Now, I won't be covering every class in this video, just a few of the basics and the best one. If you want an in-depth guide on every class, leave a comment down below and I'll release every class in Rogue Nightmare basically as my next video. The basic classes you should know are Mercenary, Ranger, Warrior, Knight, and Druid. I picked these because they're the tried and true basic classes of really any dungeon crawler or even RPG.
What just happened?
Mercenary is your basic rogue class. It starts you off with your dual sabers and a javelin, as well as the flurry skill. There's basically no reason to use javelins, so we're just going to talk about the sabers. The sabers are swords that enable the dual wield skill category. This class uses the agility stat and is extremely mobile with a high damage output. It does, however, fit the description of glass cannon. Seeing as its only defensive option is kill everything else before you die, makes it pretty easy to rack up deaths. Here are the pros and cons. It's the most mobile class in the entire game. Its high DPS enables you to do stuff like this. It can shred bosses at ludicrous speeds when it isn't too busy dying to them. And being a follower of the agility path, you get to unlock an auto dodge, which can be an enormous help. However, if you're like me and used to tanky characters, you'll probably find yourself dying repeatedly. The lack of defensive options forces you to choose between putting your stat points into health or damage, and when put in a box, you are pretty much guaranteed to be dead. Ranger is your tried and true ranger class with a bow in hand and the skill to back it up. The basic ranged damage class of the game starts you with a bow, a ricochet, and a multi-shot. This class has the unique opportunity for a mixed build using the Orcish Strongbow, a bow that scales off of strength. Normally this would be bad, however upon getting 75 agility and 75 strength, you can combine the base stat for both, allowing you to go ham crazy with this weapon. The signature of this class is Projectile Barrage, which allows you to shred everything in your sight. The pros and cons. It can play safely from a range. Projectile Barrage allows you to shred bosses in mere seconds. And once again, a class able to get the auto dodge. However, you struggle with several bosses due to them having projectile shields, you're prone to being cornered, and again, you are very fragile. Warrior is the basic melee DPS class. Normally I would talk all statistically and give you the pros and cons, but there is only one thing you need to know. Taco Bell Hammer.
Yeah.
And
From the
Converge.
I don't have the health to survive the full, which will deal less damage when I pierce you. Axe. What?
There we go.
Knight is the tank class, most resembling a paladin, and my personal choice of a starter class. Starts you with a sword in one hand and a shield in the other. Equipped to use it to protect yourself and your party, you can parry attacks and taunt enemies to get them all to attack only you and not your teammates. Here are the pros and cons. It's very tanky and is hard to kill. It can provide cover for your teammates by pulling enemies away from them. It sets up a lot of opportunities for combo attacks or just your rangers to play freely and attack safely. And the parry allows you to avoid damage from attacks you otherwise couldn't dodge. However, the damage output is incredibly low, and without a skilled and designated healer, your late game, particularly the Vainglory fight, is abysmal at best.
Can I do anything in gaming class? No. Please don't look at this.
You killed him already, please? Thank you. The bitch should not have gone for that long. Here we're on standard 4.
I don't do damage, bro. How much damage do I do? I deal 100 damage per hit.
Hey, Mookie, why are you...
Okay, guys, let's play some video games.
Hey, so guys, where did all of our lives go?
Don't fucking talk to me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Alright. There are some people, there's some people whose
Okay, I
names-
took 6.
There's a couple people here. Druid is the standard healer class of the game. Of course, that is once you get a healing spell, because the healer class doesn't start with a heal spell. You do start with a staff that has an M2 ability to buff the regen rate of your party members, but it's not exactly a heal. It does enough for the first few levels, though just hope to pull heal spells as quickly as possible. Your best spells are Distant Blessing and Protect. The pros and cons. It's easy to play as long as you spam heals on your party. You can play back and not draw aggro to avoid dying. Since you don't require a damaging stat, you have more room to invest in increasing your health points later in the run. However, you do literally no damage. Your spells with limited ranges can sometimes force you to go closer to bosses to save your idiotic teammates, and it can put you in danger. And there could be some runs where you just don't pull heal till like the 3rd or 4th floor.
Die.
Yes! Finally! Heal!
I think bro is a bitch.
We're on
Yeah,
the 4th
playing.
floor, and you got the basic heal spell?
Yes! Yes! Fucking finally!
Now, you've probably seen me playing a 5th unlisted class throughout the video. That would be Spellblade, the best option of the 3 buyable classes. I won't go into detail, but just notice that's what I'm playing. It mixes swordsmanship and riposte with magic to achieve perfect damage balance. And it's my personal favorite class. Spellblade is really good. Spellblade is incredibly good, but there's definitely a high skill floor, or you need a certain level of skill to be able to utilize it without just shitting your pants all over the place. Now, there are definitely too many bosses for me to get into all of them, so comment down below if you want a dedicated video on how to beat every boss in the game easily. What we will be talking about is shielded bosses, Lost Champion, Crypt Keeper, Frigid Necromancer, and the Nightmare of Vainglory himself. First of all, shielded bosses. A few of the bosses have this weird circle around them, which basically blocks projectiles from going past it. As long as you're shooting at the boss from inside the circle, your projectiles still hit. Of course, this puts you in a bad position of being melee range with someone, 20 feet bigger than you, but it is what it is. On to the Lost Champion. Now, this is a pretty simple and trivial boss, to be honest. The only reason I included it is because of how much I hate it. I would rather fight any other boss in the game than this one dumbass guy. If you are playing a melee class and you don't have a parry, all you can do is hope to run away pissing your pants while he follows you and tries to kill you instead of your ranged teammates. Crypt Keeper looks like arguably the hardest boss in the game, but he's way easier than he looks. Most of his attacks are very manageably dodgeable because of how long the wind-up time is. If you have hold fast as well, then it's actually not out of the question to do this bot's hitless, though it is pretty difficult. Just be prepared for the Taco Bell attack, and this thing where he sends the horizontal waves all the way down the stage from the center, and you'll be good. Now, Frigid Necromancer is the bane of my party's existence. Although I don't mind the fight too much, my friends basically call me slurs every time I try to say so.
The guy eats the fucking.
I'm gonna
Oh
fucking
my.
shoot myself. Oh my
Alright,
god.
Here.
Slather
Here.
me in peanut butter and call me a monkey. I hate Frigid Necromancer.
Stop. No.
Notable attacks to look out for are when the floor lights up like this, it means he's walling himself. Couple things to note: yes, it hurts. Yes, you can get trapped in it too. And as far as I know, Spellblade is the only class that hits him through the walls. Immediately after opening up his walls, he'll do this giant map-wide projectile spam before teleporting to a different spot in the map. Just focus on dodging the projectiles and be ready to dash in his new direction to get as much damage off as possible before he walls again. As long as you can manage that little loop there and not die, it's not that hard. Immediately upon defeating Frigid Necromancer or Crypt Keeper for the second time in your run, you'll be greeted by the final boss, Vainglory. To be honest, talking about it really doesn't do it justice, so I'm just gonna play the fight and let y'all see for yourself.
Ah. Oh shit. I think I've.
Alright, put the shields on the keyboard, just spawn it first.
I hope you know, Mars. When you say give me shields, I need to be in range. Mars, I can't give you a shield right now. It's on cooldown. Okay. There.
No, here, out on me, here, go on me.
There. Oh shit, there's a second stage. Okay, be prepared for a start. Be prepared for a start. Refresh, refresh. I'm just feeding this dude Mars heals. Like, I'm spoon feeding Mars heals. Oh my god, Mars! That hold fast. Oh shit, shit. Okay, there we go. I had a panic heal. Sorry. No. Okay, there we go. Shit, okay. Oh fuck.
never anywhere to go. There's never anywhere to go. I died.
Shit, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Only one death. That's only one death. Oh shit, I forgot. I'm supposed to be giving you regen.
Wait, what? You forgot?
Okay, the entire time I was just base healing you guys. That's how good it was. I was keeping you guys all alive with only base heals. No! No, Mom! I know,
Yeah, I
it's
really
a little...
tried. Yeah, I couldn't even go through it. I tried to use Joshua and just not.
If there was only a counter in this game.
If only my class had a counter. He dies, he dies!
Ease! We beat him hard mode, guys! Ease! Ease! Oh my god.
Good night. Good night, and now good night. I'm not doing another one. How did you guys pull 2 levels ahead of me? How did that happen?
I spent influence to gain more.
Victory hard!
That's